Hi, I'm Yuuu. This is a series about writing Chinese characters in a calligraphic style, and I think I should start by talking about strokes. In particular, the horizontal stroke. So the first thing is that horizontal strokes in Chinese calligraphy are usually written about 10 to 15 degrees up. This is to give characters a sense of movement, rather than just being flat and straight. Second thing to note is that as in all strokes in traditional calligraphy, we don't write them just as a straight line. Usually before the stroke, you'll have a slight downwards movement to prepare the stroke, and after the stroke, you close it up with a movement that goes downwards and back. So in pencil writing, this is very subtle. So the idea here is that you want to close off the stroke at both ends, kind of like a parallelogram instead of a straight line. The second thing is it has to do with the rhythm of writing. When you do the starting movement, you are moving very slowly, and in the middle, you're moving at a consistent speed with less pressure, and at the end, you finish off slowly again. When you want to write fast, having this kind of rhythm in mind when writing helps a lot. So when you have many horizontal strokes in a character, like this character for 2, you want to watch the spacing between them. You want to make sure that they look almost parallel and that the spacing is tight. So in particular, when I write 2, my first stroke is curved slightly upwards and my second is curved slightly downwards to make it feel tighter. When you're writing characters like the character for 3, you want the spacing to be even and you still want the spacing to be kind of tight. Usually, when you have a character with many horizontal strokes, one of them is long and the rest are shorter and roughly the same length. So there is a clear difference between the shorter strokes and the much longer stroke. So for another example, here's the character for writing. So you have one long stroke on top, and the rest of the strokes, they're not exactly the same length, but they kind of fit within a rectangle that is separate from this long stroke. And I think that's important to visualize. For the next character, that means, among other things, brilliant. Again, notice that there are many horizontal strokes in this character. And again, notice that the spacing in between them is even and tight. And secondly, that there is one long stroke nearer the bottom, and the rest of the strokes are noticeably shorter, even though in this case they are of slightly different lengths. So remembering this kind of relationship is important when you're writing Chinese characters.